Have you ever wondered how to sell your gym? In this video, I'm going to share the exact steps I took to sell my Fit Club location. Hey Packers, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Simeon Krastev and I'm on a mission to build an international multi-million-dollar health and wellness business. And I'm sharing the lessons, tips, tricks, and mistakes I'm doing along the way. So hopefully you can stack up the wins. Now, the first and most crucial step when it comes to selling your location is preparing it for a sale. And in our case, we open up a brand new location. You can watch the past series if you haven't done that yet, and we documented the journey of actually doing that, and we only had a couple of months working. Now, the issue with selling the club was that I was out of the operations, and that's both great and it's a little bit bad at the same time. And it's great because it shows that the business is not dependent on the owner and there's a team in place to run the actual location. But the problem with that was that we didn't push the revenue to the limits, because when you have a team running the place, that often eats into your margins. If you don't have the owner actually being there and selling and managing the growth of the club, it stagnates at a certain level. So first we had to prepare our club for sale, and we had to run it for a little bit. We just opened up our location, and just as we started working, I had to move over to Thailand as we were building another project in the same time, and it got a little bit hectic. So my attention was shifted away from the actual location that we just opened to something else that I was working on at that time. And we kind of plateaued at a level of bringing in right above 6 figures per year in revenue, with very little profit for me, given that I was paying out for the team and making sure everybody's happy with the work they're doing there. But coming back from Thailand, I had to work on actually bundling up the location, getting the revenues up and preparing it for a sale, because all the other projects that I had going on in my life, which was pretty much relocating countries, moving over here with my girlfriend, setting up shop here, opening up the new location, were kind of taking a big toll both financially, mentally, and physically in my life. And I had to find the strategic buyer to take over my gym, to run it, and to give it full attention. So the first thing we needed to do is make sure that financially it would make sense for a new buyer. So that's why we worked on all the potential revenue streams, and we heavily focus on the high ticket programs just to show that there's a sustainable model and process in place for acquiring high ticket clients that pay upwards of thousands of dollars to join a program and have that at a higher margin, just to make sure that the new owner has the path of profiting off of that location. So that was the first thing. And I personally took over 100 consultations within 1 month and get approximately 75 new members in our location, just to show that it's possible. I documented the journey. I documented all the SOPs. I documented all the videos of the actual sales calls, onboarding the customer groups. I literally took the entire model and I recorded everything of how it works. Another thing I had to do is, I had a team in place, but for the new buyer, usually the thing they're worried about is, oh, what happens if I buy this location now and the team leaves? So I had to secure at least a run rate of 2 years to have the team that I had in place to stay with that location. So I had to sit down with them and have a conversation about them actually staying with the club regardless of the owner of the place, so they keep on building what we've built. And this allowed me to have somebody commit for 2 years, so all the operations regardless of the owner would keep on going for at least 2 years. So that was a big confidence boost to the new owner of the place. Now, the third thing we had to do is make sure we clean up our margins. We eliminated all the expenses that we had and we kept it to the bare minimum. And there's a few things I did that. I rolled up my marketing expertise into the sale and provided a service for the new owner for at least 2 years, that I would be helping them manage their social media advertising and give them strategic coaching and tips and help to make sure that they get this thing off the ground. So that was one. Second, it was the team in place. And third, it was actually getting their revenue numbers up to show that it's possible and sustainable to have a business like that. The third thing I had to do is negotiate with the landlord that we can transfer the lease and ensure that the rent would stay the same, that the build out that we did is not going to be taken into account rolling into the second and third year of the rent, because we did a lot of it on the actual location and I wanted to secure the flat rate of the rent that we got. So we did that, and with these 4 things in mind, we now had prepared our Fit Club to be sellable, because now we had an actual business, meaning that regardless of the owner, it keeps on running itself. We had the marketing piece covered, so the new owner wouldn't have to worry of finding strategies and tactics on how to bring more people. Third, we negotiated both with the team and the landlord to make sure that the new person that comes in has a stable base that they can grow off of. To find the right buyer, I did several things. First, I reached out to my personal network with business owners to try to get some people to see the place. Unfortunately, after reaching out to 20 or 30 of my contacts, nobody had anybody in mind that would be interested in potentially buying the club. So I had to resort to the thing that I do best, which was advertising. And I've spent like a good day to just highlight the entire model, spend a good day to write a good piece detailing every service and making sure I'm using copywriting tactics to fully explain what is the vision behind the location, how it works, what's the team like, what are the profits, what is the vision for the location, and pretty much just through the copy alone, attract the right person. So after I spent a good day, I took good photos of the actual location. I took some photos of our social media. I've prepared like a good package for a new potentially interested person could take a look at and just get a feel right away for what we have to offer. Then I took a business marketplace and paid a couple $100 just to be listed on their feature page. And immediately I started getting calls. And maybe it was because the way the location was explained, or maybe because of all the additional services we offer. Usually the businesses that were for sale in our industry were regular gyms that only relied on memberships. They were selling equipment and selling memberships for $20, $30, which for most people doesn't make sense financially because it usually doesn't. But in our case, we had different monetization vehicles plus a team in place to run the location. So that attracted a lot of interest. And after launching the ad, even the first week, I got 7 or 8 calls and I had people coming down to see the location. It was mostly younger people that had an idea of what running a gym would be like. And it was more out of passion, but I could tell that they didn't have the skills and the capacity to run a location and also the financial backing. They maybe had a little bit of money saved up and they wanted to dump it into something, but I needed to find the right buyer. So I filtered the criteria even more by adapting my copywriting on the actual ad of who exactly would that a location be ideal for. I explained how the day-to-day would look like for the new owner, what are the things that they should be focusing on. And a month in, I got some really interested inquiries and I finally found somebody that has been in corporate for many years. They're very well off financially and they had somebody to back them up financially as well because they're a real estate entrepreneur and they've built massive buildings. They have a multi-million-dollar empire on the side. So financial stability was crucial because when you're launching a new business, you have to pay the ignorance debt of not knowing what you're doing. So being pressed for finances is not great. Second, she's had a passion for health and fitness for so long. I mean, she's been in the industry as a client, as a consumer for over 2 decades. And then again, took training certifications and it was her passion project. She was in her late 40s, going into 50s. She had both of her kids in school and wanted to take on passion project for herself and finally do something that she wants to do. So we had this in place. Ideally, I'd wanted to have somebody with a little bit of experience, but she was open to learn and she was a blank slate. So we literally negotiated the deal within a matter of a few days. They paid all cash for the deal and they came in. As part of the agreement, I provided 2 months of training and 2 years of marketing support. I onboarded them with my team. I ensured that they have access to all the tools, resources, and everything when it comes to growing the business and focusing on marketing and sales. And they got coaching and support on that as well. So this is how I was able to find the right buyer. It took probably 20 meetings to find the right person. And there were a few people that wanted to get the club and pay up front for it, but I didn't feel it would be the right thing to do for my team. So I had to find somebody that wanted to keep things as they are because they're already working and not do too many changes on the actual location or branding or anything like that. So we finally found a person that wanted to do that. We got a strategic partner and we closed the deal. And this is a picture of us being together and working through the pending items and just getting onboarded and training. So again, it was an exciting and yet nerve-wracking procedure. I'm sure if you're selling your business for the first time, there's many things that you got to pay attention to and you're going to learn as you go. But if you set up your business from the operational standpoint, from marketing and sales standpoint, and then negotiate a good deal in terms of the location and the package deal that it comes with, I think you have a very good possibility of actually selling your location. So my advice is if you ever want to do that, make sure you document all the standard operating procedures, record videos and everything you're doing. record trainings, make sure you have processes for hiring talent, for onboarding new team members, for getting customers, for filling on those customers, because the more of those things you have, the more attractive your business becomes. Now, after we close the deal, now the new owner is already running the location. They're doing great at it. They're learning their lessons. They're bringing on new members. They're opening up more classes. So I'm super happy for that. And yeah, now the future for what we're going to do here on this channel is for me to just openly share all the tips, tricks, and lessons I'm learning along the way, but go in a more granular detail. I hope you like this format of trainings. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth and start to talk a little bit more technical. These series were more of a bird's eye overview, opening up a club, running a club, marketing, sales, a little bit of everything, but we didn't go deep on any of those. So in the future, I'm just going to pull back the curtain and break down each and every concept of how it works, show you practical examples of how we done it, because I still get to keep the online portion of my business, and we're opening up a new location here in Thailand. So I can show you the process of that as well. But if you ever want to partner with somebody that can help you with your marketing, sales system, automations, leverage AI, and help you scale your location or even prepare your location for sale, just click the link below in the description, fill out the information, we'll hop on a call and see maybe we can be a fit. Now, as far as ending words goes, really mean the world to me if you subscribe to the channel, if you comment down below what are some of the topics that you want us to cover, and I'll see you in the next video.